Every Tuesday night, my wife records a podcast that nobody listens to. And for the past 5 months, I've secretly been her entire audience, all 3 of them. She started it last winter. A little show about small-town history, the stuff she's loved since college, old diners, forgotten train lines, the woman who ran our town's switchboard for 40 years, no studio. She records in the closet under the stairs with a $40 microphone and a pillow against the door for soundproofing. Every Tuesday after dinner, she disappears in there, and I hear her muffled voice through the wall, telling stories to no one. I checked her stats once while she was asleep. The dashboard was a row of zeros with 1 spike of 2, the day she launched, which was both of us. She never mentioned it, but I noticed she'd stopped saying when the show grows and started saying if anyone ever hears this. I noticed she recorded episode 11, and her sign-off, "Thanks for walking through history with me," sounded like someone waving at an empty street. I know that sound. I self-published a novel 6 years ago. It sold 9 copies, and 7 were my mother. I know exactly what it costs to keep making a thing in silence. So I did something I never planned to tell anyone. I made an email account. Gary from Ohio, a retired road trip guy who found her episode about the abandoned rail depot and had actually driven past that depot in 1988. I sent it to the show's inbox she mentions at the end of every episode. Then I downloaded every episode from 3 coffee shop Wi-Fis so the numbers would move. The next Tuesday, through the wall, I heard her voice change. She read Gary's email on air. She answered it for 6 straight minutes, laughing, pulling up extra facts she hadn't fit into the episode. She came out of that closet glowing and didn't tell me why. That part stung in a way I didn't expect and made me double down. By March, there were 3 listeners. Gary from Ohio, M, a night shift nurse who listens on her drives home and asks short, kind questions, and a teenager named Bree who found the show for a school project and types like punctuation is optional. I kept a note on my phone with their voices so I'd never slip. I wrote their emails on my lunch break like a man running 3 secret lives. Here's what I wasn't ready for. She tells them things she doesn't tell me. When the nurse asked why she started the show, she said her dad used to drive her past the old depot every Sunday, and since he passed, the research is the only place his voice is still loud. She's never said that sentence to me, not once in 11 years. I sat in my truck in our own driveway and read it 4 times. And then, in April, Bree asked if anyone in her life listens. My wife was quiet on the recording for a long moment. Then she said, "My husband would, if I asked. But he had a book once that nobody read, and I watched what the silence did to him. I'd rather him think this is just my little hobby than watch him watch me fail." I was folding laundry with her voice in my earbuds, and I had to sit down on the bed. We'd been protecting each other from the same silence in opposite directions. There were close calls. I once almost sent a Gary email from my real account. Another time she said at dinner, "Funny, all 3 of them always write on Wednesdays," and I chewed my chicken like it required my full attention. Last Tuesday broke the whole thing open. Mid-episode, mid-sentence about a 1930s flood, she just stopped. Through my earbuds, I heard her take a breath. "Before I finish this story," she said, "I want to say something to my listeners. Gary, the depot closed in 84, sweetheart. You couldn't have driven past it in 88. M, the hospital you mentioned doesn't have a night shift. I checked in February. And Bree," her voice went soft and shaky, "no teenager on earth cares this much about zoning maps." A pause. I stopped breathing. "I've known since the second email, because you spelled definitely wrong the exact same way you have in every note you've left me for 11 years. So I'm only going to say this once." Her voice cracked. "Thank you for reading my silence and filling it." Then, right there on the recording, "Come in here, you idiot. The closet under the stairs fits 2 people. Barely. If one of them sits on a box of Christmas lights. Episode 31 has a co-host now. It still has 3 listeners. His name's Gary. He's very loyal."